All right, so I thought it's springtime, everybody's getting their tax returns, you want to spend a lot, no, I'm just kidding, you don't want to spend a lot of money. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a Dollar Tree hack. I was there the other day with my kids and I found some really cute items to make a little centerpiece. So from the dollar store, I picked up these 3 little milk jugs, this little lace ribbon that's really cute, and 3 bunches of lilac flowers. All total, I spent $7 plus tax for this part of my DIY. So to complete my project, I'm using DIY paint and vintage linen. It's gonna take very little, which is good because I don't have much left in this can. The DIY clear wax, I'm using my Paint Pixie wax brush and my Paint Pixie 1 3/4 brush. The brushes, the wax, and the paint can all be purchased at jamirayvintage.com. What made me really love these jars is the label on the front. You can't really see it. It's the dairy company that they're replicating. And on the back, it even says, please wash and return to Heritage Dairy. Once we paint this, all that detail is gonna pop. I'm using my Paint Pixie brush and my DIY vintage linen. This is a clay-based paint, so it sticks to the glass very well. And I'm just going to put on a coat of paint. Oops. 1 coat should probably do it. It's going on there nice and thick. I'm going to paint all 3 jars just like that, and then we will be ready to trim the flowers. While I'm waiting for my paint to dry, I'm going to trim up my flowers. They're too long like this, so I'm just going to trim them right here so that way I have individual stems and I can mix and match and make little arrangements. I'm using my needle nose pliers that have the side cutter in them, and that cuts right through the middle. So the next step is going to be wet distress. Now that they're all dry, you can see that I've already wet distressed this one, and because it's got all those bumps and detail, it looks great and chippy, and it's really simple. I've got warm water here and a lint-free rag, and I'm just going to dip my rag in here. You want it wet but not soaking wet, and then you're just going to take your damp rag and just remove some of that paint, because until you seal this paint, it's water soluble, which means water will take it off. It has this cute writing on the back. Let me see if I can get that. And you can do as little or as much as you want, or if you don't want it distressed, you don't have to do that. But I think it's so much cuter distressed. So you want to give them at least 2 hours to dry completely after you wet distress before you wax them, or you can seal them with a liquid sealer like Big Top or liquid patina, or even a satin polyacrylic would work. Or if you don't want to seal them, that's fine too. Just know that if they get wet, the paint will come off, and if they get dirty, it's going to be hard to clean them. So depends on how durable you want them. But I'm going to be giving these away as gifts to my neighbors. So I'm going to go ahead and seal them so that way they last. And I'm just using my clear wax. After it sits about half an hour to 2 hours, I'll just buff off the wax and then it will be good to go. I'm using the DIY clear wax, and you can get that along with the paint and my brushes all at jamirayvintage.com. And the shirt I'm wearing. My wax has sat for 30 minutes. I've got my dry lint-free rag and I'm just buffing it off so that way there's no excess. Now my jar is ready to add my flowers. This little lace ribbon, the detail on it is so pretty. It was too pretty to pass up at the dollar store. You definitely don't have to add this, but I think it kind of completes the look. So I just trimmed it out. I'm not gonna tie it in a bow. I'm just gonna tie a little knot at the top. Okay, so I've got my, now I've got my knot, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just add my flowers. So you saw that we cut them up. I just divided them into even bunches. And there you go. I'm gonna go ahead and assemble all these, and then we'll show you the finished project. Our project is complete. It took me about 15 minutes, not including dry time, which I think is pretty good for these 3 cute little flower arrangements. You could use them as a centerpiece in your entryway, or I'm going to be giving them to a few neighbors of mine that could use some spring cheering up. It cost me about $7 in Dollar Tree supplies, and then I have my paint and my paintbrushes and wax already in stock. It took just a little bit of each just to do it, probably maybe $2 in product if you just counted the product that I used. You can get those at jamirayvintage.com. Comment below with your favorite dollar store hacks. Be sure to hit that notifications button so you never miss a DIY. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more DIY.